Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This pick a card is real talk. So a quick message to give it to you straight. I have 6 crystals on the table. These have been pre-shuffled ahead of time. I normally don't do that, but to make this quick and simple and to the point, okay, I figured let me go ahead and take care of that ahead of time and lay them out on the table for you then to choose. So I have Desert Rose, Apophyllite, Aragonite, Coral, Limestone, and I have Celestite. So if you haven't had a chance as of yet to choose a crystal on the table, by all means go ahead and do that now. There are timestamps in the very beginning of the video where you can take as much time as you need to in order to choose your crystal on the table. If you feel that during that time you feel drawn to more than one, by all means listen to your intuition. That's always going to be highly encouraged here. These readings are general at the same time, right? So don't shoot the messenger, basically. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I can't possibly expect to connect with every single one of you. Although I hope you manage to find a message here. But if you don't, consider maybe checking out my pick a card playlist. I have a bunch of pick a card readings that I've already done, that there might be another one in there somewhere that has a message that you need. If this is not the one for you. And let's say if all is said and done, I'm not the reader for you, that's okay. YouTube has many readers out there. I'm pretty sure there's going to be one that has the messages you are looking for right now in this particular moment. So again, this is a reading for real talk, a quick message for real talk to give it to you straight. Again, I have my little disclaimer in the beginning. If you haven't seen it, maybe go back. I'll put a timestamp in there for the disclaimer on that. But we're going to go ahead and get these off the table and go directly into the very first reading. By the way, real quick, I'm going to be using these cards, okay, in addition to the Everyday Witch Tarot. So this is a Spiritual AF deck. It's 99 inspirational cards for people who effing need some inspiration. Pile number 1, you chose this Desert Rose crystal. That is your card. These are messages of real talk, and they're going to be done real quick, okay? So let's take a look. What messages do you need to hear right now? Real talk. All right, so we have the 5 of Wands, and this says, sometimes everything is going wrong for the right reasons, okay? There is a message on the back of this. I will read that, but let me address the 5 of Wands first and this message here. So basically, the message here is something you need to hear right now and, you know, give it to you real and straight. The 5 of Wands is an energy of conflict. Sometimes it's conflict or challenge with other people. Sometimes it's conflict and challenge in something we're trying to accomplish, and we're feeling the strife and the angst and this feeling of sometimes a little bit of chaotic energy and loss of control. 5 of Wands can also sometimes talk about things that are unstable and unpredictable. So the message here, what you need to hear is that, you know, sometimes the universe is also trying to kind of steer us in a different direction. It's like giving us obstacles after obstacles after obstacles to try to like warn us that, hey, this is not the right path, okay? I don't know about you, but I was watching 90 Day Fiancé the other day. I don't know if that's my guilty little pleasure. I was watching 90 Day Fiancé, and the one girl was like, you know what? I lost my engagement ring. Now I got to get married a month too soon. No one can visit me, or no one could be at my wedding because of COVID. Like, there's all these things going wrong. And it's almost like sometimes the universe is trying to like say, hey, are you listening to me? Maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you shouldn't get married to that person. If there's so many obstacles after obstacles, roadblock after roadblock, sometimes we have to know when enough is enough and when it's okay to throw in the towel. And that's kind of the vibe that this card is giving me. Sometimes everything is going wrong for the right reasons, okay? And the 5 of Wands can represent that unpredictable energy, things that kind of just, they just create that angst and frustration, and maybe frustration with people and frustration with circumstance, and everything just going wrong, and we can't seem to get it right. But sometimes the universe is trying to kind of help you, All right. And I know it's hard to look at from the outside looking in, and that's real talk. But let's see what this message says on the back. You've been wanting life to get better, right? We often forget that in order for things to change, the status quo needs to get shaken up, and the stuff that no longer serves us needs to leave to make room for the good shit. Oh, I'm probably going to get demonetized now. Anyhow, it says, we all love the phoenix rising from those ashes, right? But we forget the part where her nest is a bonfire. And she's on fire, and shit is scary as F, right? Remember, you want to be a phoenix. You got to learn to love the fire. Wait, hold up here. Look at the cauldron burning over, right? Sometimes we are forged in fire. You've heard me say that a million times before. That makes perfect sense. Sometimes we go through things to kind of mold us, shape us, refine us, forge us into fire, into that, blazing fire, to kind of test our resilience and courage. Like, do we got what it takes? Do we have the stamina to keep pushing, right? Sometimes things go wrong, yes, for the right reasons. We just don't see it that way up front and center. Sometimes we got to look at things hindsight, right? But if I almost want to say, if we can be present and just kind of sometimes recognize, okay, what's going on here? Why is everything going wrong? What's universe trying to tell me? What's Great Spirit trying to tell me? Are my guides trying to get my attention? Right? That is that frustration of like everything going awry is kind of the word that I'm getting from the Five of Wands here. So if that's something you're experiencing right now, pile number one viewers, this is kind of a little bit of a wake-up call to tell you to either take a step back, get a bigger look at the situation or the picture, and ask yourself, why are you being challenged this way? There's probably a purpose behind it. It could be a warning, Spirit trying to get your attention to steer you in a different direction, right? And that's going to take discernment, obviously, personal, spiritual discernment. But it could also be that Spirit is trying to prepare you for something, because, if you want something bad enough, you got to go through the fire sometimes to get it, right? So that's real talk for you, pile number one viewers. I'll leave you here. Sending much love. If you feel that this has helped or connected for you, you know what to do. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe. Click the little bell for notification to support this channel further. Maybe even consider checking me out on Etsy. All my information is in the description box below. Personal readings and handmade crystal jewelry are there. Take care of yourselves and keep shining. Pile number two, you chose this Apophyllite crystal. I'm going to put that there. This is your card. We're looking at real talk, okay? Real talk, quick messages of real talk. What is it you need to hear right now? So let's take a look. All right, so we have the Hierophant energy, and then it says, be uneffable with, or be uneffable. Sorry. That's a tongue tie, right? There's a message on the back of this. I kind of want to address the main card here first. So the message here is, why do I feel like this is telling you to be like Obi-Wan Kenobi-ish? Okay, if you guys watch Star Wars, Yoda, right? These are Jedi masters, if you know what I mean. And this is giving me that vibe of Jedi master here with the Hierophant, because look how calm, cool, relaxed in her vibes she is. She's like completely unbothered. Nobody could really attack her or get to her. This is, this is Zen, right? And it's giving me this feeling of what the message is here, right? Is don't allow other people to mess with your energy is the real talk message here. Even who is it? Bruce Lee even says, be like water, right? And the other message I'm getting here is water off a duck's back, in other words. And sticks and stones is another thing that I'm picking up from this. Wow, I'm just getting them all today. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names and words will never hurt me, right? And there's also another quote I'm getting from that. It's not verbatim, okay, but it's, people can only hurt you basically to the extent that you allow it, okay? And that's kind of the vibe of this message here with these two cards. It's in other words, you don't have to let anybody affect you. The control that you don't have control over other people's actions, right? But you do have control over how you react to other people's actions or behavior towards you. And that's what this is telling me. Water off a duck's back, right? Be so deeply rooted in yourself and who you are that nothing that anyone can ever say would ever have the power to affect you. And that's what this is saying. And you know, it could be that this is something that Spirit wants you to practice. You know, like they're doing yoga right now. That is an exercise. This is a spiritual practice and or exercise. You have to train yourself, right, spiritually, not to kind of, you get so balanced within yourself to the point where, you know, you don't allow the polarity of other people's nonsense or BS get to you or hurt you or harm you. Again, Jedi Master, right? You have the potential to be this Jedi Master. Maybe you embody that energy now. But if you don't, there's a need to do that. To protect yourself, to protect your spiritual energy and the vibe that you have or the work that you have done on yourself. Right? We get to a point where we're so good in ourselves, in our journey. And also, it might not even just be a person that has, you know, that manages to shake you up a bit. It could be a circumstance, right? That can shake you up. But Spirit wants you to practice being that Jedi Master, in a sense, to where you're so balanced that nothing really has the power to affect you one way or another. Your reaction is still in alignment. It's properly in alignment is what I'm getting. Also, the metaphor of the tree, right? The tree, its roots go down deep to help stabilize it. No matter what the trunk and the canopy of the tree experience in nature, right? Weather fluctuates all the time. The tree has to be flexible. It has to bend so it doesn't break because there's always outer circumstances that it's subjected to. But guess what? Deep down, it's so deeply rooted and secure. It ain't going anywhere. And it's like saying, me wanting to say to you, real talk, be like a tree. Sway. There will be fluctuations all around you. But the fluctuations all around you only have the power to affect you to the extent that you allow them to. Because it's all in the mind, right? It's all in the mind. So let's see what this card says over here. All right. It says, if you find yourself effed with, take a moment to reflect on what part of you is out of whack and susceptible to being effed with. Then check that ish with some self-love. When you're filled to the brim with love, nothing anyone says or does bothers you, and no negativity can touch you. You know what that makes you, right? A badass. A big old spiritual badass. Okay. Yeah, that just looking at that, you knew what that meant. Like, obviously. Right? And the fact that we get the Jedi Master over here, Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi with the Hierophant. You know what I mean? This is you being in your spiritual security. So secure in your spiritual self. No one can mess with you. Right? And it could be that some of you are already here. And you just need to reaffirm that you're in the right place. Like you're actually spiritually in the right place. And if you are sensitive, let's say there's people who want to test your boundaries, then this is telling you to, right? Put on your warrior shield. Maybe do some spiritual protection on yourself as well. And put on your Jedi suit. Right? So that way no one can mess with you like that. And if they dare try, they might have something coming to them, in other words. Right? Because you don't know you don't know what kind of squad, spiritual squad somebody has at their back, right? The nerve. Like for somebody to mess with you, because technically you're not just messing with that person, you're messing with the spiritual squad behind them, around them, in front of them, behind them, above them, and below them. Okay? So that's just real talk for you. Pile number 2, this is your reading. I'll leave you here. Sending you much love wherever you are. Take care of yourselves. If you feel that this has helped you, by all means, let me know in the comment section down below. To support this channel, like, share, subscribe, click the bell for notification for future messages from my readings. And if you ever want to support my channel even more, maybe consider checking out my Etsy page. All my description, in the description box, all my information is there for you. All you have to do is pay me a visit on Etsy. I have personal readings and handmade crystal jewelry for you there if you're ever interested. So much love. Again, take care and don't forget to keep shining. Pile number 3, you chose this Aragonite stone. That is your crystal. This is your card. We are looking at messages of real talk, right? No BS, to the point. What is it you need to hear right now? And we're keeping it short, sweet, and simple. But let's see what we got for you, pile number 3. All right, you did have 2 fly out for you. You get the, wait, that's the 2 of Cups. Okay, for a second I was like, is that the 10 of Cups? Sorry. Maybe I need glasses. That's the 2 of Cups. Nice. Okay, and then this one says, holding on to resentments is like taking an, you know what, in your own heart. Whoa. Okay. And then this one says, dance like everyone else can go F themselves. Holy cow. Wow, these are really abrasive. All right, let me, there are messages on the back of these, okay, and I will definitely read those, but I kind of want to just see what it feels like just looking at the 2 messages and the 2 of Cups together, okay? The 2 of Cups energy is about union, coming together, finding your better half, or your, not your better half, because you're already better. You're already whole, right? So finding your other half to your whole. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Finding your perfect match, I guess. Your soulmate. And it's also sometimes about forging unions, right? And togetherness and seeing eye to eye. So I kind of get the vibe that there might be somebody in your life where perhaps you don't necessarily always see eye to eye with them. They are somebody that perhaps with the 2 of Cups you love and you care for deeply, but maybe you aren't always on the same page, right? But the thing is that this is saying if you love them, maybe you got to dig down deep in your heart and truly forgive in order to get to that point where you can see eye to eye, be on the same page, and again, meet your match, right? This is about forging a union and coming together with somebody and getting to a point where you can share something with them. So it could be that if there's any hurt, resentment, unforgiveness, okay, that needs to be taken care of. That needs to be healed. It also could be, for whatever reason, this is so specific, but for whatever reason, I just got the vibe that it could be that you want to come together with somebody. You want to, maybe you do want to forgive them. But maybe other people are telling you not to. And that's where I think this comes in, right? It's also the 2 of Cups has to listen to his heart in order to find that union, that balance, that alignment and equilibrium. So it could be that part of you wants to forgive somebody and then other people around you are telling you not to, okay? And that's BS, because at the end of the day, you have to forgive, not just for the entirety of the situation, for the highest good of everybody involved, but also it's good to forgive, right, for yourself. Because like this card says, you don't want to hold on to that resentment. You're just muddying your own heart in that case, right? So maybe it is time to forgive somebody so you can finally let it go. Maybe the time has come for you to finally just forgive, okay? And let it go and heal the situation. So for one, maybe it's not even so you and your person could come into alignment, but you can basically come into alignment with yourself, because it could be that's the one thing that's holding you back from coming into alignment with yourself with this 2 of Cups. It could be the need to forgive somebody, okay? And maybe it's overdue. Whether it's love or a situation that needs forgiven, nonetheless, anytime we can forgive a situation, maybe even forgive ourselves, right? We kind of can get rid of that debris that's been lingering in our hearts. And we can free ourselves, right? Like this card says, dance like everyone else can go F themselves. Basically, dancing is like an act of liberation. Like your spirit is free for a second while you're dancing. So again, forgiveness will set you free. Okay. So let's see what the back of the cards say. All right, let's look at this one first. It says, yeah, it's that gross and pointless, right? Because it's talking about holding on to resentment is like taking a ish in your own heart. And this is saying, yeah, it's that gross and pointless. Let that ish go. Look up a loving kindness meditation on the internet and do it. Focusing on love is like taking a baby wipe to your heart. There you go. Try to see love in the situation, and is what Great Spirit wants you to know right now, right? Try to find love in your heart and in the situation, and let it go, right? Because there's no point in holding on to that unforgiveness if it's going to spoil your own heart, right? And this says, dance like everyone else can go F themselves. All right. And it says, we cut ourselves off from joy far too often because we worry what other people will think. There you go. Like I said, I was getting the vibe that if somebody, you know what I mean, is telling you not to forgive that person, who cares what they think? Okay. Yeah. Who cares what they think? Go do you, right? Take a moment today to look around and silently tell everybody to go F themselves and then dance, right? Because dancing is a very liberating act. So free yourself from, again, resentment, anything that would hold you back from truly, again, being in alignment with yourself. You got to let that go in order to be free, right? You got to let it go. So yeah, I mean, if people are telling you not to, like, it's your journey. Okay, that's real talk. It's your journey. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they think. You got to do what's best for you so that way you can move forward. You can be healed. You could be in alignment. Okay, and you can do right by your own heart. Okay, and spiritual journey. So pile number 3, this is your reading. I'm going to leave you here. If you feel that this has helped or connected for you, by all means, please do let me know. In the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe as well to support this channel. Click the bell for future notifications so you don't miss out on content. I upload pretty often. And if you want to take it a step further to support what I do, maybe consider visiting my Etsy shop. All the information that you need to check me out there is in the description box down below. Pay me a visit. I have personal readings and handmade crystal jewelry there. So much love to you. Take care and keep shining. Pile number 4. This is your crystal. It's an oddly shaped piece of coral from the beach that I found. It reminded me of an elephant, so that's why I brought it home with me. These are your cards. We're looking at messages of real talk. All right, so quick to the point, no BSing, basically straight to the point. Let's see what messages come through to deliver messages that maybe you need to hear right now in this moment. No frills, right? Let's see what we got here for you. All right, so we have the 10 of Wands, and this says, stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. Whoa, okay. I also heard, why are you carrying that? Why are you carrying that? So pile number 4, viewers, it kind of feels like with these 2 cards, there's a message on the back. I will read that, but I want to address these first. Why are you carrying that is what I'm hearing. It kind of feels like pile number 4, viewers, you could be carrying the burdens of the past. The weight of the past maybe still lingers. Maybe there's still that resistance there. And you're kind of flowing against the current because maybe you haven't let it go quite yet. She is going uphill. Whenever you go uphill, you do create resistance, maybe even unnecessarily, right? All she has to do is put the burden down. All she has to do is put that aside, and the trek up the hill wouldn't be so bad, right? So it's telling me that there's something that you could be carrying, and Great Spirit's like, it's time to let it go. It's time to kind of cast that yoke aside so that way you're not being weighed down by the situation anymore. It's time to maybe say goodbye to something or someone or a situation that is not working out for you. Could be a job. Sometimes the 10 of Wands is like a, a burdensome job, having a lot of responsibilities, so much on your plate, and it's creating a heavy load unnecessarily on you. And it kind of gives me the vibe where, if it's not working, it's not working, right? Because it does say stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. If you lost your happiness in that job, this is saying if you can, you know, find another way, because that's not where it's at. It could be that a job is oppressive with this energy, or you're feeling so much pressure, or you're feeling under pressure. You're not going to seek, or you're not going to find your happiness there. Okay. It could be that there is another place or another job out there for you that would give you that fulfillment that you're not finding where you are right now, and Spirit wants you to take action to seek that fulfillment elsewhere. Okay, it's kind of the vibe this is giving me, and I'm saying that because of the Ten of Wands. However, if you, again, like it says, if you lost your happiness with someone in a situation, then maybe that situation has ended. It is a number 10. Tends to talk about endings, conclusions. If you lost your happiness with somebody, it's time to let that go, because you're not going to find it there again, is what this is saying. And maybe that's why that person is in the past. That's why maybe they're no longer in the picture. So there's a need to release the past of that situation with them, right? To maybe get your happiness back. Because if you keep seeking it where you lost it, you're going to come up empty. And all you're going to be left with are these 10 wands that you're still carrying, right? So let's see what the message on the back of this says. It says, there you go. Quit going back to people, places, and things that make you unhappy. There you go. Where were you sad? Okay, I'm sorry. It looked like when for a second. I'm trying to read through the lens. It's really bad. And he says, anyhow, it says, where or were you sad when you were getting drunk all the time? Quit that. Okay. Can I start over? I'm like illiterate right now. It says, were you sad when you were getting drunk all the time? Quit that. Do you drink every time you see that friend, even though you don't want to drink because it makes you sad? Quit that friend. Does Forever 21 make you feel fat? Tell Forever 21 to F off. Shit. It says, does that lover leave you feeling unlovable? Don't go looking for loving from that lover then, right? It may not be easy, but it's simple as F. So basically, stop what's hurting you. Stop the nonsense. Stop the madness. Stop the insanity, right? It's kind of like running in place. That's what this is kind of saying. Stop going back to people, places, things that are making you unhappy or unfulfilled. It's time to let that shit go, to drop that burden, basically, so that way you can find your happiness elsewhere, right? Because you deserve that at the end of the day. And Spirit wants you to know that. That's why this card came up and said, stop doing the same thing. What do they say? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting the same results. It's just not going to happen. So that's real talk. And that's your message, pile number 4. Okay, don't hate me. Sending you much love wherever you are. If you feel that this has helped you, you know what to do. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe. Click the little bell for notifications to support this channel. Every interaction does help this channel grow. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, all my information is in the description box down below. Pay me a visit on Etsy. I have personal readings there, as well as handmade crystal jewelry. Sending you all love in the world. Take care of yourselves. Most importantly, though, you know, keep shining. Pile number 5. You chose this really cool piece of limestone that I found in Mexico. Very, very pretty. That is your crystal. These are your cards. Now, we're looking at messages of real talk, okay? Like, no BS, straight to the point, straight shooter here. Something you might need to hear right now in this very moment. I'm not trying to come for you, but these are messages of real talk, okay? So, again, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just trying to deliver a reading here. But let's see what messages are here for you, pile number 5. All right, Knight of Pentacles. And what does this one say? Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. That could be you. That could be somebody else. But it says, stick with the people who pull the magic out of you, not the madness. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Absolutely. And your candle just went out. What the heck? You see that? Interesting. Okay, let me replace that for you real quick, because you know what? I did come prepared this time. I've been slacking and a few times have forgotten to put candles, fresh candles on the table for me in case this happens. But I'm prepared now. All right. So if you heard that weird sound in the background, that was my cat. So anyhow, it says, stick with the people who pull the magic out of you, not the madness. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, let me just address these two cards, or this part of the card, with this one first. There is a message on the back. I will read it. But basically, when I'm looking at these two cards, and what it's making me feel is like, yeah, you can move from, right? Because Knights are about movement, speed, action, momentum. You can move away from people. You don't have to tolerate any of that nonsense. You know, it's like, if you're trying to level up, you're trying to be the best version of you that you can be. You got priorities, right? It's Pentacle energy. You have things you want to accomplish. You have goals that you want to make happen for yourself. Maybe you're working on some manifestations and things like that. The last thing you want to do in the midst of trying to reach your success or reach your goals or accomplish things is have people direct negative energy towards the very thing that you're trying to create for yourself, the very thing that you're trying to invest in. Okay, it says, stick with the people who pull the magic out of you. Yes, stick with the people who are going to encourage you, lift you up, right? Not talk down to you, that are not going to try to knock down your dreams or your hopes or your aspirations, right? I always tell people, like, no one has the right to shoot down your star, right? The star that you could be wishing upon. There will be a lot of people out there that will try to do that to you, to try to, you know, either make themselves feel better or kind of discourage you for something that you're have a lot of aspiration or hope towards or faith in, right? A simple word or sentence could truly knock that out of you, and that's not fair, right? So I kind of feel like if there's people that are negative and who are always got something negative to say, this is saying, you know, those people are robbing you of your magic. They're kind of like sucking that out of you, right? It's like you want people to support you or be around you who are going to, again, bring the best out of you, not pull you into their madness or make you part of theirs. Okay, that's what this is saying. And you over here maybe are goal oriented. The last thing you want to do is be dragged down or distracted by other people's mess. So it's almost like giving me the vibe of telling you to stay focused on your goals with this pentacle here, the direction that you want to move in and the things that you want to accomplish, and anything or anyone that is not going to support that journey or perhaps be a team player, right, when it comes to you reaching your goals. They basically don't have any room with what you're trying to accomplish, or they don't have any room where you're going next, in other words. So again, stick with the people who pull the magic out of you. Bring out the best in you, not the worst in you. Okay, you don't want anybody dragging you down into their funky energy if all you're trying to do is get places, go places, you know, make moves in life. It feels like these are the kind of people that would hold you back, rather than be that supportive soul tribe, right? That kind of encourages you to be your best, to do your best, to accomplish your best. All right. So let's see what this says on the back. It says, notice how you feel when you're with a person. If you feel like ish, don't hang out with them. It's that straightforward, basically. It's that straightforward, for reals. They don't have to be bad people for you to choose to not engage. It may just be your reaction to them. Even if you can't remove yourself from their presence completely, you can at least check in with the part of you that gets crazy and give it the love that it needs. Okay, I'm sorry. I really struggle trying to read this through the screen. Okay, but I try to hold it up for you so you can see it in its totality. So if I sound like I can't read, that's why. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, if there's a vibe that somebody gives off and it just doesn't feel right, doesn't feel good, you could be around energy vampires too. You know, you could come back completely drained after hanging out with somebody the whole day. If you're surrounded by people like that, this is saying just not to do it. Because if you're trying to do things, accomplish things, go places, you got priorities, you got goals, hopes, dreams, wishes, and manifestations you're trying to move in the direction of, you know, it's like that negative energy can really take a toll on what you're trying to accomplish. The last thing you want to do is be hanging around them and have them pour negative energy onto the very thing that you're trying to create. It could be that maybe this is a message also to, you know, you'll hear me say this once in a while in my readings, to keep your goals, sometimes your manifestations, on hush. Like, don't share them, especially if there's a possibility somebody can tear it down or put negative energy toward it. Okay, so it might be just best to keep it to yourself. So that's your reading. If you feel like this has helped you or connected for you, you know what to do. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to support this channel. Maybe click the bell also for notifications so you get notified of future content. I upload pretty often. Every interaction also helps this channel grow. And if you ever want to take it a step further to support what I do, maybe consider checking me out on Etsy. All my information is in the description box down below. All you got to do is pay me a visit there. The link to my shop is there. I have personal readings and handmade crystal jewelry I make with my 2 hands on my free time. So pay me a visit. Take care of yourselves wherever you are. Be safe, be well, and keep shining. Pile number 6. You chose this beautiful piece of Celestite. That is your crystal. These are your cards. This message is about real talk, like a message that you might need to hear right now in this very moment. It's quick, to the point. There's only a few cards here, and that's it. But we want to, you know, just give it to you quick, straight, and simple. So let's see. What messages of real talk do you need to hear right now? Again, I'm not trying to come for you, so don't shoot the messenger. But let's see what messages there are for you. Okay. All right. It says 8 of Swords. All right. We have the 8 of Swords, and it says, don't be an ungrateful-ish. Okay. So let me address this part of the card and this first. There is a message on the back. I will read that. Okay. What this is telling me is that sometimes, you know, there could be moments where you feel like really limited in your own head, and you got to get out. You got to get, like, step outside your own box a little bit. Get out of your own way, in other words. Sometimes the 8 of Swords energy could be that, where it's like very mental, you know, you're in your thoughts, you feel trapped, you feel stuck, you don't have a way out, you don't really see the forest through the trees, or whatever that saying is. And it kind of can create this feeling of restriction, limitation, blockage. You could be suffering and going through some blockages, but really what this is saying is that a lot of it is in your own mindset. And that mindset is what needs to change. That's the message here. The real talk is you got to change your mindset, right? You got to step outside of your own way. Sometimes you can hold yourself back and create resistance and blockages simply because you don't see another way, or you perceive that there isn't another way out of your current situation, circumstance, or the way that you're feeling. One way, right? One way, though, to truly get out of your own way and to start seeing the forest through the trees is to practice gratitude. Okay. Sometimes we feel stuck, trapped, limited, and sometimes the best way to shift our perspective is just to find something to be grateful for in the midst of our struggle or our trials and tribulations, right? And that's why I'm saying don't be ungrateful. In other words, if you find yourself being ungrateful, right, reel it back and say, wait a minute here, what is the blessing in this situation? What is it that, you know, there's so much to be grateful for. You know, you're alive, for one, right? You're breathing, for one. You know, if you can see, you can hear, you know, you have no trouble eating, you know, like you have a roof over your head, you got food, you got clothing. Like, these are all basic things that sometimes we take so much for freaking granted, and we fail to see how blessed and how provided for we really are, even in the thick of a really shitty situation, right? That 8 of Swords is feeling like it might be a really shitty situation, right? Okay. But this is saying in the midst of that shitty situation, right? I might have to, like, bleep myself out a few times in this reading, by the way, and basically the whole video, because of, you know, they might try to demonetize me or strike me or something, or somebody might report it, I don't know. But anyhow, this is saying in the midst of a really shitty situation, you might have to just shift your mindset to find something to be grateful for in order to combat the feeling of limitation that you are currently experiencing, right? It's a matter of shifting your own mindset, retraining the brain, the subconscious mind, replacing negative thoughts with positive ones. And a lot of that is just through gratitude. So that could be something you need to hear right now, that if you're feeling this way, right, you're feeling like this Eight of Swords, you need to step outside of your own way, get out of your own damn way, and basically start shifting the mind first, right? Because when the mind starts to change, everything else follows, right? Everything else follows. And one of the best ways to get to the point where you start shifting the world around you is to change your mindset first. And then the best way to help that is with gratitude. Find something every day to be grateful for. Take a moment to just pause and be grateful for the fact that you heard the birds today, right? That, you know, you see a pretty flower and it just brightened up your day. You know, take time out to be grateful for the tiniest little thing. Like the birds are singing right now, you know, that's something to be grateful for. That's a beautiful sound. I want to just let him do his thing. I have the back door open over here to the side. But yeah, it's a perfect example, right? The fact that you can hear him singing, you know, that is a blessing. That is a gift. That is something to be grateful for. And it may seem, you know, insignificant, but at the end of the day, it helps shift the mind in the right direction. Okay, so let's see what this says here. And forgive me, I really struggle trying to read these through the screen, but I want to hold them up as close as I can. It says, seriously, if you're reading these cards, you're privileged as F, okay? You can read. Reading is super effing fantastic. Thinking about how many generations of people didn't get to read. F, yeah, we're not completely effed. We know how to read. So there you go. You can read. Be grateful for that. In other words, find something to be grateful for, because every time you do, you shift your mindset towards something positive, and it helps lift you out of this energy over here where you just feel stuck mentally, spiritually, maybe physically or emotionally, right? So pile number 6, that's your reading. Sending you much love wherever you are. If you feel that this has helped, please do let me know in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe to support this channel. Click the little bell for notifications. Every interaction you give this channel does help this channel grow. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, all you have to do is check me out in Etsy. All the information to my readings are in the description box down below. It's just a matter of visiting me there. I have personal readings and handmade crystal jewelry. So I apologize, my cat. If you hear that, that's her. All you have to do is pay me a visit. Again, take care of yourselves and keep shining.